Pennsylvania's state system of higher education. 14 universities, infinite opportunities. This week, we explore the opportunities available at Clarion University. First, we'll hear from University President Karen Whitney.
Hello, I'm Frank Brogan, the Chancellor of the Pennsylvania State System of Higher Education. We're going to have the opportunity to spend a few moments hearing about one of our 14 wonderful universities that make up that system. And with us today is the leader of that institution, Clarion University, and Dr. Karen Whitney, the president of Clarion. Welcome, Dr. Whitney, and we are delighted to have you with us.
Thank you, Chancellor Brogan.
Can you start by telling us a little bit about Clarion, some of its history, its location, just in the event people don't know what part of the state it's in? Tell us a little bit about Clarion.
I say that Clarion University is an intentional place. We're located between Pittsburgh and Erie. We're 2 hours north of Pittsburgh, 2 hours south of Erie, 2 hours south of Cleveland. We're kind of in the middle of everything, but we're nestled in just next to the Allegheny National Forest and Cook Forest. It's a lovely area with the Clarion River adjoining the campus. It's just beautiful. I mean, even with all the, whether it's a snowy winter or a warm summer, it's just a wonderful place. There's the borough of Clarion, in the township of Clarion and Clarion University. It is just this wonderful American college town. It was founded in 1867. We have approximately 6,000 students enrolled, both on ground there in Clarion, and we have a second campus in Oil City, as well as we have an extensive delivery of courses online. So we're everywhere. We're committed to Pennsylvania, but we're actually available around the world.
Well, you have an extensive background and career in the world of higher education, a doctoral degree in higher ed administration, the 16th president of Clarion University, and I'm sure very proud to be so. So what have you found at Clarion by way of need for reorganization and reinvention for the future of the institution, as great as its history has been?
Well, I mean, Clarion's kind of motto is we're a courageous, confident Clarion. We are a university that is truly under construction. We are under construction with major facilities underway, with new housing. We've completely refurbished a new vintage historic residence hall into a student services center that's dedicated to the student. Our #1 strategic goal is student success. It's the recruitment and the education and the graduation and the full employment of every student. And Becht Hall is becoming the hub for student services from admission to graduation. We're also completely refurbing our Tippin Gym, which is our major indoor athletic facility, which houses our NCAA championship swimming and diving team, our Division I wrestling program, as well as our outstanding programs in intercollegiate basketball and volleyball. And that's going to be a complete refurb that's going to open in 2017. So in a facility standpoint, we are a university under construction. But more importantly, from an academic program standpoint, we are a university under construction. We've launched this year a School of Education with a whole new and exciting innovative approach to teacher education preparation. We have signature academic programs in addition to our historical program, because we were first founded in 1867 as what was called a normal school or a teacher's college. And we've grown and we've met the needs over these almost 150 years as the needs of Western Pennsylvania and the nation have changed, so has Clarion. And now we've gone from that teacher's college in this beautiful setting to now our signature programs continue to be education, but they include business, science, technology, education, science, technology, engineering, and health professions, because that's what our area needs from us, and as a public university, we're there for them.
You know, a very important hallmark of all 14 of our universities in the State University System of Pennsylvania is a dedication to keeping costs down for our students. We have what I like to call a rather fragile economic strata of students who inhabit our 14 institutions, and by virtue of that fact, we're very proud to say that we do keep our costs down. Our tuition rates, our fee rates are among the lowest in all of higher education in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. You at Clarion have developed something new and very exciting, which is a merit-based scholarship program. Can you tell us about that, Karen?
Absolutely. I think the idea of it's about value. it's not just about what someone pays for their education. Is it relevant? Will it prepare them? As I tell freshmen at orientation, we're here to prepare you for your dreams. And so I think it gets back to, are we organizing ourselves in a way that's effective for you and the learner and your interests? I think our approach is to meet the student where they are, whether it's on-ground learning in our campus, online learning, or it's looking at a variety of credentials and degrees that can meet your current and future needs. So I think we're in a very dynamic state in higher education. I think the other thing that's notable about Clarion is our commitment to a bachelor's degree that can be accomplished in 4 years. I mean, our bachelor's degrees are 120 credits. We're very focused on that commitment and ensuring that if a student can dedicate themselves to full-time study, that they can finish. That's the affordability, is having a relevant credential completed in a timely manner. And I think we're well positioned for that.
So true. And as I like to tell people, a very important partnership exists between the student and the university. Right. The student has to be committed to finishing on time, and the university has to be committed to seeing to it that they can, with course selection, financial assistance if that is a barrier. And I'm really pleased with how Clarion University has taken that on as a major issue relative to the future of the institution and our entire system. You touched on a moment ago some of the athletic programs at Clarion. And of course, many of our viewers may not know that our 14 universities that make up the Pennsylvania system of higher education are all engaged in intercollegiate sports on a variety of fronts. Tell us a little bit about Clarion.
Well, what I'm most proud of in our Clarion program, the most important thing is 46% of our students who are athletes have a 3.2 GPA or higher across all sports. A lot of times in the media, there's a really narrow presentation of college sports. And at Clarion, as well as all of the schools in the system, we're part of a Division II conference that is the most competitive, athletically competitive conference in the country. It's the largest, and it has some of the highest academic standards. So that's what I'm proud of, is that combination of academic excellence and athletic commitment, because that's the promise that we should be giving our students, and that never gets told enough. So our athletes are scholars, and they compete athletically, not only in our conference, but nationally.
Well, you know, that takes us to the word community, because athletics, of course, give universities an opportunity to reach into the community and show just how wonderful the institution is. But you go beyond that in the world of community at Clarion by taking what you do at your institution to the people, to the community at large. Tell us some of the things that are taking place at Clarion by way of community.
Well, I think definitely Clarion has a long history of being a public university. From its early days of, again, starting out as a place that prepared teachers for, in 1867, what might have been the frontier of Pennsylvania or the Midwest, all the way today to our commitment to community includes leveraging our teaching, our research, and our professional service to benefit the Clarion region, to economically, socially, and developmentally improve the quality of life for millions of people. I mean, there's a dedicated interest here. Our students above the national average are involved in community service learning, which combines doing good things, but also that comes back into the classroom, so that our students don't just go and work in a child care center or work in a homeless shelter. They're integrating that experience into their courses and into their scholarly work, so they can understand the great challenges of poverty and homelessness, or the great opportunities in working with children by being out in the real world, but bringing the real world back into the classroom with their faculty to make sense of it all, so that they can be part of that next generation that solves these great challenges.
Part of that community includes, of course, our veteran population, and I am so impressed in my year and a half with this system as to the attention that is given to our veteran population within our 14 universities. Clarion certainly holds that in high esteem. How do you handle the veteran and the veteran issues at Clarion to make sure they get an opportunity?
Well, first of all, I have to say it is stunning, the commitment and the history of the military service in the Clarion area in Western Pennsylvania. So it is definitely service to country and nation is a part of our history and culture. So Clarion, it makes great sense that not only have we for over 6 years been considered a military-friendly university, our commitment is deeper than that. Our commitment is deep in terms of the being thoughtful about what academic credentials we offer and how we offer them. Really, we are stepping ahead and wanting to be deeply involved with people who are currently still serving actively and people who have left service and are now veterans and their families. Because that's a great part of the culture of Western Pennsylvania is that connection. So we are very much cognizant of the interests of military folks, and we're actually designing some very innovative delivery structures to help them in a variety of ways. It's very exciting.
Well, Clarion has such a long-standing tradition of service to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Now with the world getting smaller, include the country and the world. And Dr. Karen Whitney, thank you. And of course, through you, thanks to all the great people at Clarion, the faculty, the staff, and of course that marvelous student body for the work they do every day to continue to be one of the jewels in the crown of the Pennsylvania system of higher education. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Coming up next, explore more opportunities offered at Clarion University.
Invest in me.
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 I'll be your future public servant.
I'll be your future advertising executive.
I'll be your future accountant.
I will be your future motivational speaker.
I'll be your future lawmaker.
I will be your future teacher.
Invest in me. I'll be your future videographer.
Welcome back to Infinite Opportunities. Next, we meet a Clarion student who has a passionate eye for her art form.
Photography's my world. It's how I see everything, it's how I look at everything, even when I don't have my camera with me. It's my life. Capturing specific moments is a little harder because I consider myself a portrait photographer. I work with people. And depending on what I'm photographing, I have the ability to completely pose a shot, make it entirely fictional, or candid and photograph exactly what's happening. Depending on the emotions I want portrayed by the image, there's a lot of different poses that go into that. And we work together, and there's this collaboration to make sure that the image comes out, that everyone is still okay, everyone's still safe, everyone's still comfortable. When I have a camera in my hands and I'm photographing something, I feel completed. I can see the world in a different way. I can manipulate what I see, or I can capture what is naturally there that others may miss. I use photography to capture the world. My name is Becca Alviani, and I'm a Clarion University student.
It takes courage to raise your GPA and raise a toddler.
To clock out of work and into class.
To fight for your country and for your college degree.
To start your freshman year at age 35.
You're ready to pursue your dreams? Let us show you how Clarion can give you the confidence to get started. Courageous, confident, Clarion.
Welcome back to Infinite Opportunities. Next, we'll find out how Clarion University online programs offer opportunities to students both in and out of the classroom.
Can online learning equate to on-ground practices? Can students actually learn as much, if not more? Here at Clarion University, we have two different headcounts, if you will. One is for those students who are strictly seeking an online degree. We also have about 2,300 students that are taking courses as part of their on-ground supplements.
The online program has benefited them in terms of offering that flexibility that on-campus learners don't have.
You know, the typical person who enrolls in an online class is someone who's really looking for flexibility. But it's someone who needs to take a class that will allow them to take it at any point in the day, that they can access it at any point.
Most of the interaction and communication is over the computer, sometimes even over Skype or whatever web chat the professor offers. Online learners are different than traditional learners in the case of just how much work they really have to put into getting their education.
When students get in there, they discover very quickly that it's a lot of work.
The professor's not reminding them every week of, you know, this quiz is due or you need to submit this.
There are still deadlines. You still have to post your assignments by a certain day. You will still have group work. You will still have projects that you have to do. You have to be in your weekly discussions and they have to be done by a certain day.
They really have to be motivated to check their due dates and to get their work done and really have the self-management and the discipline to do it and do well at it.
Well, in 2010, the Department of Education actually did a meta-analysis, which is where they take all the research that had been done in online learning, and the results of that meta-analysis shocked a lot of people. And the reason it shocked a lot of people was that clearly online learning actually demonstrated to be a far superior product, students graduating with better outcomes, better knowledge, better content than those that were getting the same course on ground. The best modality for learning, however, was neither either or. It was actually a blending of the two.
Some students do choose to take online classes on top of their regular on-campus classes, and that's usually for students who either just want to get ahead in their degree and graduate earlier, or for those who just want the convenience of not having to go to class every week.
The future, I think, for Clarion, and I would say for the state system, is tremendous.
We are the #1 program in the state. We have a number of different awards, including we are a military-friendly school, and we have gotten that award the past 7 years, among other awards that we have within different degrees in our online program.
Clarion University will be going forward with more online programming. This is something that we know we need to do. It's what our students are asking us for us to do. The enrollments are certainly showing that our new programs that we're doing online are increasing. And so you will see Clarion University taking a very large step in that direction.
I wake up at 2:30 every morning to start my day. I'll shoot a live segment, then minutes later go out to cover something in the community. Even on the hardest days, I always remember being in my Clarion dorm room and just hoping that this exact moment would happen. No matter what I do, no matter how far I go, I always think about my Clarion professors and how they helped make me the confident woman I am today.
In 1934, 22 people started a financial cooperative. PSECU was born out of necessity, out of a need to provide service to people who needed it most. Since 2000, we've been forging strong relationships with educational partners across Pennsylvania, making strategic investments that benefit all members, including students, faculty, and staff, and alumni at over 20 university and college locations across Pennsylvania. Learn more about what we offer students at psecu.com/students.
Welcome back to Infinite Opportunities. Next, we'll learn more about how Clarion students are integrating into the local community by living in their new suites on Main.
We chose the location for what has now been called Suites on Main, which is East Main Street on the campus of Clarion University. This was chosen at the request of the president of the university, whose vision for this new property would be to bring campus to Clarion and Clarion to campus, to get a real community feel for the students living there and to allow the community to have a part of campus right on Main Street. The north side building will open first. It is the building next to Steele Hall, which houses our business college. That building was slated to open in August of this year, 2015, for occupancy for the fall semester. The second building, which is on the south side of Main Street, next to Carrier Administration Building and next to the former, or what will be the former, Wilkinson and Nair Halls is slated to open for spring semester 2016 and subsequently will open in January for occupancy for that semester. No more than 2 people will share a suite. No more than 2 people will share a bathroom, including the shower and the other amenities that go with the property. Both properties or both buildings will be fully sprinkled and monitored 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And that's kind of a standard for anything that we would do, and certainly that is welcomed on campus. So from a safety standpoint of that of fire or other hazards, that is just a standard in everything we build. The second part of security will go to the locking mechanisms and security systems that will go with the property. Each elevator and each floor and each room, and then the rooms within the rooms, will all be keyed or card accessed based on the level of security you have, either as a visitor or as a resident.
Hey, have you heard the bookstore is moving to the new suites on Main, where you can get all your Clarion apparel and textbooks, and our Starbucks is moving down there as well.
Yeah, I also heard that they're putting in the Denny's Den.
Wow, that'll be another great eating option here on campus.
Yeah, along with those options, they're also putting in a movie theater. Did you know that?
I think they're going to have comedians and second-run movies there, and all that kind of stuff.
Sounds like great entertainment.
It does. In the new suites on Main, there's common areas on every floor. It's fully furnished, and there's large TVs.
Sounds like a great place to do homework, socialize, and do group work.
And there's Wi-Fi throughout the whole building, so it's very helpful.
We make about 45 million pounds of chips in a quarter. That equates to about 200 million pounds of potatoes, which is quite a few. What's interesting with M&T is they're a small town bank, and as we've grown, they've also grown with us. They've got the resources that you would need in order to go big, but they also have that friendly local community feel so that it makes it seem easier than it probably is.
Welcome back to Infinite Opportunities. Next, we'll discover how mentors work with Clarion University students to prepare them for internships and for their careers.
Mark really pushes the importance of hard work. And I know that seems kind of obvious and simple, but really when you're working, I mean, you're going to work with some really smart people, some very qualified people, but if you're not willing to take those risks and make sacrifices and give that 110% effort, you're not going to get any better.
The CU Mentorship Program will shape the students' perception of their classes and their professors and teachers. As situations are laid out to them in a classroom setting, it'll help them question what's being taught a little bit.
We're one of very few schools that actually have a sole full-time staff member that is dedicated to the mentoring program. We have 3 different layers. The first is our ability to have the faculty and administration really have buy-in. They truly back us, and that's a critical part of this entire program that makes it successful. The second piece is our ability to connect students with alumni and employers. And the third and most critical piece, I would say, is our 4-year career and professional development plan.
Really what appealed to me was the fact that I'll be getting that real-world exposure. I definitely think it's important to have a balance between learning inside of the classroom as well as outside of the classroom. And you know, you're getting that great education at Clarion, but I think this program really helps with that balance.
The CU Mentor Program is something that I didn't have in my part of education at Clarion University, and I really think that, you know, with the different steps Molly and I have done through the CU Mentor Program, I can help her get an edge on, you know, the other business students that she'll be entering the workplace in.
One thing that I realized is that as I've been interviewing for these internships, the fact that I have this program on my resume and that I get to talk about having a mentor with the employers that I'm interviewing for, you know, they really like this program. It's really unique, it's different, and so another thing that I think I'm going to gain is that competitive edge compared to other students at other schools. Other schools don't really offer something like this, and so I want to take advantage of that.
And to be honest, Me being an employer, I want the first look at some of the higher achievers, the risk takers, the ones that are willing to step out and break out of the box and try something new, and like the See Your Mentor pilot program essentially that we've been doing.
They gain whatever they want to gain from this program, but they truly tell us how important some aspects are. So for instance, if entrepreneurship is really important to them and they want to learn more, we try to connect them with someone who started their own business or has developed some type of business plan. Some of the students are actually meeting with their mentor and going to weekly lunches with them. And the exposure's been fabulous.
We have visited several times now. We do a lot of lunches and stuff, and I share with her a lot of the business strategies that we're focusing on right now.
From what I've gathered from Mark, I definitely think that he got where he is today because of hard work, and people took note of that, and he's been very successful. So I can only hope that I'm like that someday too.
There was a few things that I was never told when I was graduating and entering the workforce that could have maybe steered me in a different direction that would have been more beneficial or taught me to take different risks that I didn't want to take at the time.
No other university that we found prepares our students to be mentored, and that is with our professional development series and 4-year career and professional development plan. So other institutions want to know more about what we're doing and how they can implement it to adapt to their culture, because that's what we've done at Clarion.
When you're working with these mentors, they want to see you succeed. They want to help you with your future. And so to not at least take advantage of that opportunity is crazy. I can only hope that everyone can get the same great experiences that I've had.